Hey everybody, sorry I missed the Friday video. I came home from work and I was just completely exhausted and I was just so out of my mind that I just didn't even get a chance to watch an episode, and I certainly didn't get a chance to make a video. I didn't post over the weekend because I'm not going to do weekend videos. I like to enjoy my time off and just relax from work and kind of anything I have to do besides my regular job. So it's Monday and we're up to episode 3 of 13 Reasons Why. So this one starts off with an interesting statement, and it's about the butterfly effect, and Hannah describes it as small things having major consequences. And at this point in the school, there's a bunch of posters that are going up for people for suicide prevention, notification, you're not alone type stuff, call for help, ask for help, things like that. And we also find out through flashbacks that it was actually Alex that made this list. Maybe not the whole list because the handwriting is a little bit different here and there, but Alex was the one that put Hannah's name on the list. And I've got to make a correction to my earlier video because it doesn't say best lay, but we'll get to that in a second. In the episode, Hannah's mom comes to school and she actually asks the principal what Hannah's school life was like. And I think that this is kind of interesting because now it's bringing the administration into it. He says that he doesn't really remember a lot, and the mother says that, well, I figure with so many students it would be hard to know. But then the principal says, I'm very limited as to what I say because of what the lawyers have advised me. Because apparently this is the first you hear about it. There's a lawsuit that the parents have against the school because of Hannah's suicide. In her tears of walking around the school and whatnot, the mother rushes to the bathroom and she starts seeing all these things that are written on the bathroom walls. And we've all been to high school, so you know what types of phrases are written on the bathroom walls, and she starts taking pictures of all of this stuff as well. As she's walking down the hall after that, she sees this little memorial for Hannah, and she asks one of the students, did Hannah have a lot of friends? And she says, oh yeah, Hannah had a lot of friends. Everybody's really sad. This memorial keeps getting bigger and bigger. And the mother says if they really knew Hannah, they would know that she didn't like roses. You get a little bit more background from some of the other characters. Justin comes from a broken home. His girlfriend Jessie meets up with him and he just starts crying, and he says he's going to start coming back to school. And the counselor and the principal are having a conversation about if Hannah had asked him if he asks the counselor if Hannah ever came to him for any type of help at all. And he said, no, the last time we talked was about a week or so ago, and that was just about colleges and where she's going to go in her life. And the principal says a very interesting statement. I'm going to read this because I want to get it right. All the time and resources we've dedicated to her now, if we'd known she needed help before. Which is very interesting. It's an open admission that the school didn't know anything. It's an admission that the school wasn't aware of what problems this girl was going through. And the first 2 episodes don't really show it a lot. It shows her walking through the halls and guys behind her making faces and making, those reactions you make when a hot girl walks by, and of course you're being lewd about it. But now there's reason to it because we're seeing more of this list. And this list has Hannah written down for best ass, and it actually has Jessica, her friend, Jessie, written down for worst. And this is in Alex's handwriting. And flash forward to the end of the episode, it's because of this list, it's because Alex put that on this list that all this extra drama started coming because Justin was spreading the lie that he and Hannah actually hooked up on the slide that night when instead it was just a kiss, if you remember from the first video. So you have the kiss, you have Justin having her on this list, so people are now starting to treat her differently. That gets brought to full attention when Clay goes to the liquor store that Hannah mentions. And it's here that Bryce is in line next to her and he's like, doesn't your family own a drugstore? Oh yeah, but I like coming here because of the candy. And as they're checking out, he full-handedly just grabs and squeezes her butt. And he says, they're right, it's real tight, this liquor store, and that list was correct. This just devastates her, and Hannah runs outside, just breaking down because of what had just happened, because she's feeling degraded and she's feeling devalued because people are only seeing her as this sex object as opposed to seeing her as a real person. This is the most realistic flashback that Clay has because as he's flashing back, he goes over to hug the crying Hannah, who just immediately vanishes because it's a flashback. And it's really interesting how you distinguish between flashback Clay and real Clay, because the current Clay has a bandage over his head from where he fell on his bike and cut open, and that's there the whole time. Anytime there's a flashback, there's nothing on his head, so it's a really cool way to distinguish what's real, what's not. But it was interesting to see bandage head Clay reaching out to Hannah because, as he said, I'm really having a hard time with this. And he's trying to interact with something that's not there. Earlier in the episode from this, he actually tried to cheer her up with her status on the list of how people were viewing her, and that, of course, completely backfires because she says, what if the girls had made a list about the boys and said you had the weakest arms. And Clay just kind of brushes off and like, well, my arms are still better than Blah's and Blah's and Blah's, so it's just not that big of a deal. And she says, once again, you have completely missed the point. And this episode just brings out a very interesting thought that a lot of times what we brush off as just being meaningless or being whatever, such as bathroom writings or lists that people would pass around the school, those aren't little things to people. Those aren't little things to those on the receiving end of it. Those are very hurtful. And if you start compiling all these things that has happened to Hannah over the past 3 episodes, you can start to see why she's starting to be shocked. And she was sexually assaulted in the liquor store. So she clearly is being bullied. She's being picked on. She's being talked about. She has rumors. There's a lot of stuff mounting on her that she doesn't like. From everything that is presented in the episode, which is just through flashbacks of Clay and recordings on the tape, she was a very nice, friendly person. And through a series of other events from other people, now is starting to get this reputation, this rumor, and it's starting to bother her. Especially because physically things are happening to her. It's starting to bother her. I gotta say, the series has now got my full attention because I really do remember little stupid stuff like this, and I didn't think much of it then. So as I was talking to one of my friends online, the retrospectiveness of this is like, yeah, high school sucks, but high school doesn't have to suck. And it's because of how people treat other people. It's how men, boys treat women that a lot of the drama seems to be unfolding and falling apart on Hannah and causing a lot of stress and drama in her life. So that is my episode 3. I'm probably not going to do much video editing as I'm still just kind of like really tired and I just really don't want to deal with it right now. So this is just going to be a straight upload, not screen capture video clips. I'll get back to that tomorrow when I do episode 4, which is tape 2 side B. Let me know what you guys are thinking of this series. If you're watching it or if you have heard anything about it, please let me know in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.